Hi, Tony Pellerito for Gilbert's Hardware, MrHardware.com. We're in an old house that has a problem with the doors opening and closing smoothly. We've repaired this door. It now opens and closes quite nicely. This is an older door to the outside that has a problem with the gap at the top. On one side it's quite large, I can stick my fingers in, and then it narrows down to about 1/4 of an inch. We're going to adjust this by lifting up this side of the door, the hinge side, so that it opens and closes as nice as that other door did. The house now, and the threshold is a little high on one side and tight on the other side. We want it to be even across the bottom so that when the door closes, it closes smoothly. We'll do that by getting into the house, underneath the house, and bracing the joists up. This house is built on a crawl space, so we've got about 2 to 3 feet of working area down there. We're going to put a wall in, and the wall will have a top and a bottom plate, and it'll have posts made out of landscape timbers. By lifting the joists up using jacks and then installing permanent posts, we can leave the house where it needs to be. This is a 12-ton hydraulic jack. It can push upward 24,000 pounds. That means you have to be careful with it. Whenever using a jack like this, you want to make sure that your post stays straight in line with the jack. If it's at an angle, if the jack is put in at an angle, there's a good chance it will kick off. We're under the house now in the crawl space, and what you're looking at is a pier that was installed to lift that beam up so that the door on the inside would close. And now we're doing sort of the same thing over on this side, except this would be more of a wall instead of a pier. This is the first jack we're installing. It sits on top of this plate that will stay here permanently. It pushes up against another plate we placed underneath the joist, which will also stay there permanently. The jack is placed in between the joists so that I can put permanent posts underneath the joists. We'll do them over a span of about 4 foot so that we can evenly distribute the weight over that portion of the floor we want to raise up, which is right underneath the hinges of the door. I'm cutting the permanent posts to put in there. I'm cutting them to fit, measured them each one, and then after these are installed we can take the jacks out and the repair will be done. Alright, I've installed 2 of the posts already. They're pretty solid. I'm about to install the 3rd post. To make life easier for yourself, you just jack it up until your post slides in. The post has been measured before to fit. Get it in place, loosen the jack, and that post is now solid. So we've cut posts to go underneath each one of the joists, and we slide them in place and then lower the jacks and then the last thing we do is adjust them with a hammer so that they're standing plumb and in the spot we want, and then we throw a few nails in or screws to hold them in place.